Hello, this is Demetria Miles-McDonald with Decide Diversity, and I am also the creator of the Table of Diversity. And the question that I'm going to answer today is, what does it mean when I say the science of DEI? And so oftentimes when I'm sharing my bio or someone is introducing me to speak, I'll include how Decide Diversity and the Table of Diversity really were created to be the science behind DEI. And what I mean by that is, oftentimes when we talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion, we talk a lot about how certain groups of people were treated unfairly, unequitably, and just haven't been given a fair chance to succeed. And that's one part of the story. As I talk about it within organizations, we talk about, that we talk about how people are treated unfairly. We talk about systemic isms, but we also want to talk about how people really can utilize their uniqueness, their intersectional identity to really show up and suggest improvements to products or services or to internal operations, or can better connect with people in the community. And in order to do that, you have to rely on strategy, you have to rely on data, you have to rely on numbers and things to help tell the story in a way that is sustainable. And so the Table of Diversity, when I created it, I wanted to make sure that we could tie data to each element on the Table of Diversity so that, as we're telling this story about how certain groups can help us, our organizations, achieve our overarching goal, both in the short term and the long term, I wanted there to be some evidence behind that. And in doing so, it has helped many leaders in having this conversation, because now it's not just about people being treated unfairly, but we're also talking about how by recognizing the intersection of identity, we can then put people in positions where they can thrive, and perhaps even contribute in ways that others can't. And I feel like that we have to get to a point in the DEI conversation, and I don't know when that is, but I try to get my clients to a point where we're not just talking about how these groups have been marginalized, but we're also talking about how these groups, whatever groups it is, fill in the blank, they are equipped with the skills, the knowledge, the capabilities to do things that just we thought were impossible, that we did not think could happen. And that's the beauty of diversity that we sometimes don't highlight. And so that was one aspect of the science behind DEI. But also there's research behind why we do certain things as it relates to DEI. And then there's research that tells us what, sometimes what we do is not working, at least how we thought it was going to. And so relying on that research, relying on data, relying on facts to tell us which way to go or which way not to go has to be fundamentally part of diversity, equity, and inclusion, so that it's not just one of those things that feel good, but actually helps us achieve a goal. And so that, in a nutshell, is my purpose behind both the Table of Diversity and the work that I do within Decide Diversity. When I'm consulting and training, we're always talking about the data piece. So to get your copy of the Table of Diversity, go to tableofdiversity.com. It's completely free. And then join me back here on this channel so that we can continue diving into the Table of Diversity, and I can share some behind the scenes information so that you can better understand this tool and utilize it within your organization. Thanks. See you soon. Bye.